What's up, everybody? I'm going solo today on the show as I'm going to break down some of the updates that I've got coming forward, as well as the college football season. This is the Gametime Guru. So,
what time is it? Game time! Woo!
If you're sick of the mainstream sports outlets, well, so was I. So I started my own show. I'm Shane Larson, and this is the Gametime Guru. It's different than other talk shows. I'm providing a panoramic view on sports so you can see them through a different lens. So buckle up, and let's go.
What's up, everyone? Shane Larson here, the host of the Gametime Guru podcast. As you know by now, I'm here to deliver a panoramic view on sports, if you will, so you can see sports through a different lens. And every once in a while, I'll come through with my own show, just talking, giving you a little bit of my own perspective rather than bringing on an interview. But we've got some awesome interviews coming forward in the near future that you guys are going to love. But today I wanted to, take this opportunity to speak to you because we're in the beginning of August, which means college football is coming up soon, and I just can't wait for it this year. It's going to be super exciting, and I also want to give you a little bit of an update of what's to come with the Gametime Guru podcast, as well as some other projects I've got going forward. So first things first, I want to make sure you guys are all subscribed to the show. So if you're listening to this podcast today, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure if you're on an iPhone, go to the Apple Podcast app and subscribe to the show there. If you're on an Android, Google Play Music is already preloaded into your phone. Go there, find the podcast, and subscribe. Super simple. It allows you to hear all the episodes, as well as you can listen to all the previous episodes and get the notifications when the new ones come forward. Also, guys, follow me on social media. That way we can interact on a daily basis. Most of my listeners that follow me on social media, they get that, that connection with the sports world, as we'll be posting about sports topics, and we can just debate stuff from time to time. It gives me an opportunity to interact with everybody there. So go find me on Instagram at Gametime Guru. Go find me on Twitter and on Facebook as well. Guys, a couple of updates. First things first, if you're listening to the audio right now and it seems a little off compared to what it normally is, it's because I'm recording this on my phone, and that has something to do with what I'm about to tell you. I'm actually getting a studio. I'm getting an office. I'm going to build it into a studio. Right now, we're currently in this transition. My wife and I we are building a new house, and so where we live currently doesn't allow for me to always record when I want to record with the equipment that I want to record with, just because of how busy it is where we're at. And so I don't have the leeway to record my shows the way I'd like to. So I'm getting an office that should be ready in 2 weeks, and hopefully I can start recording there. But that's kind of some of the news. I'm getting an office. I'll be able to work my full-time job there, as well as do my show and my other shows as well. So, guys, I've mentioned Nation's Best Football, how we've been collaborating for the last month and a half, and we've got something very, very special coming forward. It's the Nation's Best Ballers and Recruits podcast that will be launching at the end of this month. And you guys will want to subscribe to that. If you are a football fan of any kind, subscribe to the Nation's Best Ballers and Recruits podcast when it becomes available, because that is going to be something that you don't want to miss. We've got an awesome lineup of guests and recruits and all sorts of football content coming your way. I'm also going to be hosting a podcast. We are probably going to be calling it the Gridiron Gametime. It's going to be for Kyle Lamb out of Ohio. It's going to be on his podcast network. So it'll be a weekly college football show that I'll be hosting, and you'll want to subscribe to that so you can listen to all the college football content that we're going to be bringing out, different segments that we'll have there. We'll probably bring on a former referee to come give his take each week, or at least once a month, stuff like that. It's going to be fun. So on top of the Gametime Guru, we'll have the Gridiron Gametime, and we'll also have the Nation's Best Ballers and Recruits podcast. I'm super excited for the opportunity, though, and it's I want to give a big thank you to all the listeners on this show who have supported me since day one, or who have jumped on later and have become subscribers and supporters of the show. Thank you so much for everything you've done, and I just ask that you continue to support me by listening and sharing the content when it comes out, because you never know who's listening, and that's how we build connections together. Sometimes the right person hears it and opportunities arise. Guys, I want to talk about the college football season really quickly, though. This is your opportunity to hear from the guru himself, and that's me. So I just want to talk about college football real quick and two specific teams that I'm excited for. You guys know I'm a Buckeyes fan, and I'm a Boise State Broncos fan. I know it's weird. I'm the Boise Buckeye, basically. I love Ohio State and I love Boise State. And this thing is like last year we didn't get season tickets, and for the last 7 years prior to that, we had season tickets for 7 seasons, and then last year was the first year we decided not to renew them because, quite honestly, my friend and I that were we would go to the games together. We had this common this feeling like the games weren't fun anymore. It wasn't fun to go to the Boise State games. In fact, it was almost like a nuisance. Like we had to go, and it was almost annoying having to get up and go out to the games, and you had to plan your Saturday or your Friday around it because the game started so late, and you're just like, as we got older, we had kids, we got married, whatever. It was hard. And so last year we decided not to renew the tickets, and we decided to, take a year off. I'm so glad that I did that. I am super, super glad that I took a year off. And the reason I'm glad about that is because it gave me an opportunity to watch Boise State football from afar and kind of just not have to worry about it. But also it kind of revamped my motivation to watch Boise State football. So I'm excited about the season this year coming up. And I don't know why I'm so excited, because we have a changing of the guard at the quarterback position, and we don't know what to expect. But I think that's part of the excitement in college football. Boise State historically has done a great job at rebuilding, not rebuilding, I should say. They consistently, come in, they train their players well. They got the players know the system, so that when their opportunity arises for them to be able to play, they come in and they pretty much have a seamless entry. Now, every once in a while, we'll get a hiccup at the quarterback position, which is what causes frustration for Boise State fans, but we're pretty good. And I'm excited for this season. The Mountain West Conference, which a lot of people don't realize, is actually getting better and better and better. If you're not watching the Mountain West consistently and you haven't been paying attention to the conference for the last 3 or 4 years, you wouldn't understand this because you're a fan of the Power 5 schools. You don't pay attention to the Mountain West. The Mountain West actually has some solid schools. We've got teams like San Diego State, who's consistently good, but Fresno's up. They won the championship last year, the Mountain West Championship. They beat us on the turf, the blue turf, in the championship game. Fresno's a solid team. They are a very, very solid team, and they're well coached, and they've got good talent coming there. You'll see, though, as teams start to win, especially in California, it helps recruiting. That's why Boise State's so good. The teams want to go to Boise State because it gives them an opportunity to win something. So the Mountain West, when you get better teams in there, you get better recruiting, you get better players, get better coaches. It's a better destination. And so the Mountain West Conference is going to be fun to watch this year. I'm excited for it. I still expect Boise State to win the conference, but it is going to be difficult. And the nation should give us a lot more respect for the conference that we have. Everyone says, oh, it's just a group of 5 school, whatever, this and that. I believe it's got some major potential. The schools are getting better. The teams are getting so much better, and it's going to be fun to watch. I'm just excited for Boise State, though. I'm going to try to make a couple games. We're trying to get my Boise State media credentials, so hopefully I'll be there, and you guys can follow me on social, and I'll be able to post some of the pictures and such of the games and give you a little bit more of the behind the scenes. But we open up against Florida State in Jacksonville, quote unquote neutral field, which I think is ridiculous. We open up over there, but Florida State has their own issues. They've got their own quarterback issues, their own coaching issues right now. Their fan base kind of fell off last year a little bit, got a little frustrated. So I feel like 2 schools are kind of similar in nature that way. One's a powerhouse and one's a historic powerhouse in Florida State and a powerhouse in the group of 5s with Boise State. So it's going to be a fun matchup. First game of the year, though, it's going to be fun. A lot of emotion, a lot of nerves. I can't wait, though. So that's going to be an awesome opportunity for both schools to kind of get off on the right foot. The other school I want to talk about, though, guys, is Ohio State. A lot of my listeners that are fans of Ohio State, just like myself, are kind of feeling disrespected with the preseason rankings. Okay, the preseason rankings came out, and at first they were marked like they put them at 10th because there's a coaching change, there's a quarterback change. I mean, it's going to be a lot of changes for them. But now they've got some of the rankings got them at 5. They've got them pretty high up there. I am super excited for this Ohio State this team. Justin Fields will most likely be the starting quarterback. He's the Georgia transfer. He was the number 1 QB in the country coming out of high school, and that's why he went over to Georgia. He did not beat out Jake Fromm, but you have to understand that Jake Fromm is a perfect quarterback for that Georgia system, so it's not like Fields wasn't good enough. I think he was just put in a situation where it was going to be tough for him to play, and now he's at Ohio State in a system where I believe he can flourish. He is perfect for that system. He's a dual-threat quarterback, and he's got a good arm, great arm. He's not a Dwayne Haskins sit back in the pocket and put a rifle on a line right now, but he can throw the ball. So he's young, he's raw. It's going to take a little while. That's why he's going to have to lean on his offensive line, his running back. But Ohio State is getting better on the defensive side of the ball, and they're also getting better up front on the offensive line. So if they can utilize Dobbins, the running back, to kind of get them rolling at the beginning of the season, I think Fields can get a flow, and I think they're going to be dangerous. That being said, I want to talk about the college football playoff. I've said this before. I think it's very possible that every team in the college football playoff this year, whoever it is that makes it there, is going to have one loss. I think that we might see a year where all 4 teams at least have one loss going into the college football playoff. I don't know if anyone makes it through undefeated. Now, I know Clemson has that potential of going undefeated, but every one of these teams has a target on their back that's in about the top 6 or 7 right now in the preseason rankings. And so I would not be surprised if at least every team had one loss that's in the college football playoff, whoever it is that makes it, because this is going to be a brutal college football season at the top of the charts. Every team's going to be going after every single one of them, and it's going to be crazy. So I'm excited, though. This is the best part of the year for football fans. We've got preseason football for the NFL, and then you're just getting that fall camp started for college football, and it's just super exciting. Guys, I'm stoked. I'm going to let you guys go, though, this Friday. Get ready for some interviews coming forward. Make sure you stay tuned for more updates on the Ballers and Recruits podcast from Nation's Best, as well as the Gridiron Gametime podcast coming. You're going to love this stuff, guys. We've got a lot of cool things. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been listening to the show and supporting me since day one. And you know the drill. Subscribe to the show, and we'll talk to you next week.
Guys, thanks so much for listening to another episode of my show. Now, if you could go and do me a favor, head over to iTunes, give me 5 stars, and leave me a review, it would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your support.